Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II, World at War with our Axis playthrough. We are here in May of 1940. The invasion of France is well underway. The Italians are spilling into the south of France. I've already basically finished my turns with Italy and with Japan. I did forget to notice this little destroyer way the fuck out here by truck. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upgrade that destroyer with naval weaponry. I still have enough MPPs to make that happen. Down to 2 MPPs with Japan, but that's fine. Now, I believe all that remains is focusing on conquering Paris, which will happen, and hopefully all of France this turn. So Paris will fall, and it's not even going to be close. It's just a matter of how much damage do I want to try to min-max doing in the conquering of Paris, because I can already, with like one of these paratroopers here, pretty much slaughter nearly entirely the reserve corps sitting on Paris. With the tactical bombers, I could do everything else. Hell, I could probably slaughter this unit entirely with tactical bombers. But then it's like, is that efficient? Maybe, maybe not. Like, should I be killing more of these units? It would guarantee that they fall, maybe. Or should I be spreading around, taking as many towns as they leave open? Well, let's see. So one noteworthy thing is that this tactical bomber does not actually have any upgrades yet. So I'm going to give it some ground attack weapons, because that's what the tactical bombers are going to do. They're going to do mainly ground attacks over here on the Soviet front. If I leave anything for dealing with naval units, it would not be these units. Can these actually get upgrades for that? Yeah, they can. They don't need it though. Like, my medium bomber could go up there. Anything else to deal with enemy ships that are skulking around. With the remaining bombers, we'll take one of them. Let's take the undersupplied one here, and let's go ahead and bomb Paris. There's probably some fighters that will be running interference. Oh, never mind. No, there's not. We dealt 3 damage. They're down to just 2. We were only supposed to deal 2 damage, meaning I could realistically kill this right now. But we do have to step on Paris with a unit anyway. So this army is a bit disadvantaged in its movement, and it's not even fully healed. So I think I'm going to use this. It's probably because it's at like 5 supply or something. But we're going to go ahead and attack with this army, finishing off that enemy corps, stepping onto Paris. Paris is ours. And national morale already was like 42% for France. They'd probably fall after this, but I guess I should do as much damage as possible to make sure, at least in a way that won't make me take more damage, right? And try to make sure we end on railways when possible, because we're going to want to start operating after this units to the Eastern Front as we get upgrades and we prepare for war with the Soviets. This tactical bomber here is not in range of very much, especially not very much that's actually worth bombing, so we'll just put it after what it can get away with bombing. The enemy over here, this corps at Chalons. We did no damage, but we heard its readiness and morale, brought it down. I still don't even know if I want to actually try to kill this or not. I'll go ahead and I'll take this medium bomber. We're going to go ahead and bomb. Oh, this is the Polish Corps. Cute. We're going to bomb that with the medium bombers because this is just free XP for my bombers at this point. They're not defending themselves. This can also be free XP for my units really up on the front. For example, these tanks could get some pretty good XP plus these paratroopers. So let's go ahead and just take some free XP because I don't think we should take any damage. We dealt 2 damage, 4 damage, and we took none. We were supposed to deal 3, so that worked out really well. Let's attack again. Watch the XP on the tanks go up. Yeah, it's up to like a full thing now. It won't stay like that because I have to reinforce these tanks still, but XP is XP and it's pretty helpful. This paratrooper doesn't even need to be the one to get the kill. I'll take the 7th paratroopers. We're going to send them down to Tours. Capture that, just kind of get any little tiny bits of national morale that we can over our opponents. The 10th army here can only really manage one direction particularly well, so let's just march them down through the forest towards this enemy tactical bomber group, which is not in the greatest shape, and let's attack it, dealing 8 damage as opposed to the 7 that it said we would deal. This thing is almost dead already. I think I'll take that as the easier XP for the paratroopers. We'll march down here, shatter this enemy bomber unit. And so that should give us some more national morale. I believe we still have to take the city. Thankfully, the panzer tanks I already used are in range. So we're just going to march those down to take the city because I want to just reinforce these panzers here. Well, they also can't reinforce as much as I would want them to. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not even a good idea. The supply here is about to improve. So maybe if I just move up and we try to finish this off with the tanks. And that'll be some, yeah, easy, free XP, no deaths. And then they can just reinforce next turn. They're on a railroad. They'll have tons of supply before we start moving them out. Still not sure how quickly we're going to really invade the Soviets or not. It's May. So we're getting into like June and summer of 1940 already. And I don't know, I feel like I'd want to attack in the spring, not the summer, to just avoid the winter as long as possible. I see the Baltics haven't been annexed yet. That's interesting. I'm gonna take the 14th Army and I'm gonna move them out past Kane. Yeah, we're gonna look at the Gamelin HQ here. It's a whole fucking HQ, dude. I'm also gonna send the 5th tanks down there, which I believe should maybe not come in handy immediately, but they could come in handy. Let's go ahead and attack the HQ with our 14th Army. Dealing 5 damage. We were supposed to deal 4 and take 1. We didn't take any. We dealt 5. That's pretty good. Maybe this tank wasn't the best idea. Its ability doesn't actually look that great. There's another army that can make it down there, though. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. Move the tanks up here. Kind of form a front. I'm going to move the 3rd army down here. Attack the 3rd army. We dealt 3 damage, as we were supposed to. We took 2 damage. We were only supposed to take 1. Let's go ahead and attack with the tanks now. We dealt 1 damage. We took none. We were supposed to deal 2. We dealt 1 damage. Finished it off. Took 1. We weren't supposed to take any. But you know what? There it is. I'm going to take the core on Amiens. We're going to go and we're going to take Kane with that. Secure that. All right, good, cool. Now, let's take the core up here at Dunkirk. Send that down to Amiens. Cool, okay, happy with that. The Slovakian corps is going to move up to Chalons to form a front that's less in danger than a panzer tank, just to block off the Maginot some more. I'm actually going to change my mind and move this corps that I moved to Amiens already, but I'm going to move it over to Sedan, and where it can fill in for that Slovakian corps. It never could have made it down here without force marching. I didn't really want to do that. We will take the 8th Army and move that onto Amiens, because it will actually have some zone of control that can keep things safer, you know, rather safe. We'll take the HQ at Lille. I'm just going to move that up a touch onto this mine so it can extend a little bit further, but, you know, also maybe not be at risk from everything that could approach from every other direction. I completely forgot that we had more medium bombers, so I'm just going to upgrade these with ground attack weapons and naval weaponry, get them fully up to snuff, because again, the medium bombers will probably be my little coastal security if anybody that I have right now does become that, so I think it's worth it. That brought us from 130 MPPs down to 85 MPPs. I think I will go ahead and I will try to get some free bomber XP by bombing Lyon. It may get us some XP, it may just get us some damage, but I think it's worth trying currently. Yeah, alright, we just got some like free XP. Maybe. I don't actually know if that got XP. Maybe it didn't get XP. Maybe that was just literally for nothing except to batter down this enemy core. Well, that's kind of weird if you ask me. Let's go ahead and reinforce the 2nd corps, the German corps that's on the front over here by Luxembourg. I haven't done this once yet, all playthrough, but I'm kind of curious to see where my opponents are spending their money. So we can see that the UK has spent 700 MPPs on research since the start of the game. France, a little bit on research, but that doesn't really matter. America's spending 575 on research. We can also look at MPPs here. They spent 268 on units, very weird amount. There's probably some upgrades and reinforcing in that total. The UK has spent over 1,000 on units and, you know, a ton on research. They're spending so much. They're collecting so much, way more than America is currently collecting. They've lost 945 on units already. Really? I feel like I'm not even fighting them that much. I sank 1 unit out at sea. I guess a ship as well. Damn. That's really big, actually. The Soviets, barely any research at all, so they're not going to be too technologically advanced by the time we fight them. MPPs on units, 389. Sounds like some upgrades reinforcing. I don't know if that's enough to really purchase anything, but who knows? China. Oh, China. Look at those losses. They've lost more MPPs on units. Like lost, like perma-lost, I think. I don't know if this counts temporary losses. Let me look at my own. Yeah, it does count temporary losses. Any damage taken. Okay. Well, they've lost more on units than they've collected in the entire game. I don't know if that includes convoys. China. This collection should include the free stuff from America. So they've lost more than they've collected the entire game. And they've only spent roughly half of what they've lost on units. Probably the rest is going into research? Yeah, alright, so the Chinese are researching more than the USSR is. That's kind of funny. I think this is India. They're collecting not too much, about as much as America is. How are we doing? Germany has collected quite a bit. We have lost half of it in units, but it's because we've been very aggressive. We've spent about the same amount as we've lost, and that's mainly going into upgrades, some reinforcement. I'm amazed we haven't technically spent more. In research, oh, you can see the diplomacy. The AI hasn't spent anything on diplomacy. I saw the Axis AI spend stuff on diplomacy last playthrough. I'm not seeing the allies do it yet. That kind of disenfranchises us just because, like, we're spending all this stuff on diplomacy and they're not. But it will pay out in the long run. It will. Look at all the research money I spent on Japan. Oh my god, nobody even compares to the amount of research. MPP's gain though. Yeah, both Germany and Japan over 2,000 collected. That's crazy. Despite spending a similar amount on units for both Germany and Japan, I've lost less on Japan. And despite, you know, spending so much on research on Japan compared to everybody else, Italy, of course, hasn't earned very much. We can also see plunder. We've gotten 480 from plunder so far. We see Poland here was more than half of it, and the rest of it was all 3 low countries combined. No plunder for like anybody else in the game yet, I think. I can't wait to see how much France gives. Probably another like Poland-size haul if I had to guess. That's good, because Germany still has more room for research to do. And if we get lucky, Yugoslavia will tick, and we will get like a crit tick, and it will join us this turn, which would be just so invaluable, so I can get ready for Greece as well as other things. Because, I don't know, the timing of this is so weird. This might be a quiet few turns after this, because I'm just going to be preparing. Speaking of preparing, we're not done yet, so let's spend our 69 MPPs best we can. We're going to reinforce the first frontier corps. We're going to try to upgrade this corps over here on Warsaw, infantry weapons, anti-aircraft defense. The corps over here on Berlin, anti-air infantry. I'm not spending on mobility yet, because again, that's just so expensive. And I don't think I really need it, at least not yet. 16 MPPs remaining. I've moved basically everything that I'm going to move. There's no point to move anything except for maybe like flying aircraft to get ready. But I think that can wait until I've confirmed that we have in fact defeated France. There's really no way to push land units any further from this point. We have supply limitations. We have a like front limitation due to the Maginot. But if they survive past this, I'm going to be very surprised. So let's go ahead and actually just hit end turn right now. Chinese morale suffers from the loss of Changchao. Hell yeah. French morale suffers from the fall of Paris. Hell yeah. Germany celebrates the capture of Paris. Hell yeah. This is all national morale events. The loss of Paris impacts British national morale. Hell yeah. With French morale low and their military soundly defeated, the newly appointed Prime Minister Marshal Pétain is willing to sign an armistice with us. Terms of the armistice dictate that we will occupy northern France, while the French government will continue to operate from Vichy in southern France. Alternatively, if we don't wish to sign an armistice with France, Mussolini assures us his forces can easily crush the remaining French defenders in Tunis and Algiers. You know, that's funny because it makes it sound like I'm actually playing Germany and I have diplomacy somehow with Italy, and Italy will actually try to do that on its own if I don't, like if I agree to let them do that, but that's not how it works. That means I would have had to prepare for it, or I would have to prepare for it, and I would have to do all of it. So that's, I don't know why that line is there. But should we therefore sign an armistice with Pétain and create Vichy France? Yes. Or continue our invasion until all of France, including Algiers, is in our hands? No. Notes. If we say yes to this, the Battle of France will be over. We'll be free to start planning our next offensive. If we say no to this, we will need to invade Algeria and capture Algiers in order to force the French to surrender. Obtaining a French surrender by taking Algiers would put us in a better position to threaten Gibraltar. One word of caution is that our agents report that further French troops will mobilize in Algiers if we say no to Pétain's request for an armistice. That said, one good reason for saying no to this is that by conquering Algiers, upon France's surrender, we will have the opportunity to entice Spain into entering the war. This is one of those really weird things that the game does with history that I just don't understand. Like how the game treats it as if the USSR was always going to enter the war no matter what on the side of the Allies. That is bullshit. Anyone that's studied history for like 5 seconds should be able to tell you that, because the USSR was petitioning to join the Axis all the way up to the invasion, and they were being seriously quote-unquote considered for it up to a month before the invasion of the USSR, Operation Barbarossa. So the fact that the game treats it like this, and in fact tells you that the USSR will join the war and it's just a matter of time, is just some weird ahistorical bullshit, or maybe a lack of historical research on the devs' parts, or maybe it's just like I don't know, they don't care about history. I'm not really sure what it is, given the historical context of this game. And this is another one. Entice Spain into entering the war upon France's surrender. Spain already wanted to join the war before this. And in fact, you don't get an event to simulate that in the game until like right now. Because before this, Spain pretty much agreed to join the war and help Hitler by invading this part of France during the invasion of France. Hitler said no because they asked for way too much French territory in return for their comparatively limited assistance that they could provide compared to what the Germans could do by themselves. This is not represented in the game. I don't get an option to maybe accept this anyway, or do this to try to turn the tables on France even more. And then France is just simulated as being much weaker than they were IRL. To try to simulate their incompetence, they're just given like far less troops than they should have. And now, what is this? I conquer the rest of France, I don't make Vichy, and then Spain will enter the war? Just like that? That's very ahistorical and weird. This is a completely unrelated tangent to the game, but I'm gonna say yes to this. My plan pretty much hinges on saying yes to this. We're gonna have Vichy France become a thing, so let's go ahead and hit yes. France surrenders. Germany, oh my god. Germany plunders 987 MPPs. I think you plunder more if you conquer all of France and you don't make Vichy, because Vichy kind of has to like get some of the spoils. I might consider not making Vichy in some instances, but with my current strategy, all we need is Paris, and then USSR to surrender, and Egypt. So getting this done as soon as possible is really the most ideal thing. Look at how many MPPs Germany has. Oh my good god. Now that Norway has surrendered, we need to reconsider the current convoy route from Narvik. The route from Narvik is very susceptible to attack from Allied aircraft and shipping. It could also be threatened by enemy forces were they to land at Narvik. One solution would be to have all of our iron ore come directly from Sweden with only a reduced convoy sailing from Oslo in southern Norway. Yes, if we do say yes, then our potential income will be less as no convoys can sail from Sweden in the winter. But what we do receive from Scandinavia will be safer from attack. Would you like to amend the Norway convoy route? Yes. Or take the risk that our convoys from Narvik will be able to reach Germany largely intact. Except during the winter when Sweden cannot export directly to Germany, this increases the value of Sweden's convoy to Germany while reducing that of Norway's. Norway's convoy will also travel directly from Oslo, which is a far shorter and more secure route. Overall, this is only of economic benefit if the Allies are capable of causing significant disruption to the Norwegian convoys. Bear in mind that when deciding their ability to do so will likely increase as the war progresses. Should Narvik fall at any time to the Allies, then the Norwegian convoy will automatically switch to sailing from Oslo, even if you do not transfer it via this decision. Okay. Okay, so view map. So let's see. Oslo down here. We've seen this in the Allied playthrough versus Narvik. As it currently stands, I don't really know that I could defend this. This is insane. Sweden's would get more value, but doesn't ship in the winter, so that's just a couple turns of like nothing, but more value through the rest of the year. That's fine. The winter isn't very exciting anyway. I would rather potentially get less from these convoys than have to commit a fuck ton more to this region to actually keeping it defended. Sure, moving some naval raiders here of opportunity could be great, but an intense fight over a constant convoy route from Norway is dumb. It's not worth it against an AI that is willing to risk literally their entire fleet to keep this raiding going. Maybe against like a more cautious player like I was, would this be worth it? But I don't think this is worth it against an AI. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say yes. I'm going to amend the convoy route. Survivors from Chengchao reformed their units in Xi'an. But this is Reykjavik. What does this have to do with China? Survivors from Chengchao reformed their units in Chongqing. I'm thinking this is the AI getting free units due to me destroying Chengchao, like a next hurrah of the Chinese defensive. Iceland joins the Allies. Okay. Vichy authorities in Madagascar accept the arms. Oh, that's right. There's like a chance for the French colonies to accept or not accept joining Vichy. All right, well, Madagascar said yes. Third Republic is abolished as Marshal Pétain becomes head of the Vichy French state. Okay. But he was like a traitor in real life. Algeria declares loyalty to Vichy France. Oh, wait, did Madagascar say no then? No. Tunisian governor declares his loyalty to Vichy France. Very good, very nice. Syria declares loyalty to Vichy France. Oh, cool. I think this didn't happen last time. I think this went with Britain last time. I think. Yeah. French West Africa declares loyalty to Vichy France. Nice. So did we like only not get Madagascar? French Equatorial Africa declares neutrality. Well, fuck you. Damn. French Polynesia declares neutrality. Yeah, that's pretty much a given. That's where the French went. Franco swings towards the Axis on the fall of France. Okay. Germany annexes Alsace. That's good. Gotta get that back. Diplomatic success to Yugoslavia. 21%! Oh shit! We just got Yugoslavia! Victorious German troops march in Paris. Hell yeah. Germany occupies the Channel Islands with their fake flag. UK prepares for possible Axis invasion. Not with my current plans. Sir Oswald Mosley is interned as the Emergency Powers Act comes into force. Spanish forces enter the Protectorate of Tangier. Yeah. Fall of France enables Spain to export wolfram and other goods to Germany. Oh yeah, that's right. We get a free land convoy. That's nice. Imports from USSR. Danish economic subsidy. All right, still doing that. Sweden, Norway. Wait, where's this convoy from Spain? Does that not start yet? Maybe not. Oh well. Germany is gaining and has so much MPPs, dude. It's insane. The British recognition of Vichy France strengthens isolationists in the USA. Recognition? British recognition of Vichy France? What does that mean? I don't know. But Yugoslavia prepares for war. I wish they told you what everything did instead of just giving you flavor text. Show me modifiers. Show me what changed. That's what I want to see. Alright, so the Chinese are reinforcing units. They're still moving this garrison around, running them around like a headless chicken. I don't know why. But they're just trying to hold the line with the units that I keep attacking. That battleship is heading south. We got to keep an eye on that. That could be concerning for the cruisers that are down there. They're bombing St. Malo, trying to hurt, yeah, our MPPs. What good that'll do them at the moment. I guess we have to get... we might want to get fighter coverage to spread throughout France. Or some anti-air on the cities. They're bombing us in Tobruk. That's not good. We dealt damage to their bombers, but they're moving the army up. Blitz attacking, dealing 1 damage, taking 1. They're definitely not coming out positive on these MPPs. They are advancing in the south. I didn't know if they would do this. They are doing it with South Africans. So I'm glad that I put everybody where I put everybody. They're taking damage to my garrison. That's hilarious. Well, we have a lot of movement. The recon's moving up, but they're pretty much going to be gated at Tobruk from the time being. I could really use an HQ in Libya. Oh my god. What? What? An allied transport just ran into my raiders. What? And then took 5 damage. Why is there an allied transport here? British morale is shaken by France's surrender. Germany celebrates the defeat of France. Yes. And yep, Yugoslavia's joined us. Long range desert corps formed in Siwa. I don't know what the fuck that means, or what that has to do with Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia joins the Axis. Hell yeah, baby! With a fully upgraded unit I just saw. Coal strike continues in New South Wales. And convoy raiding. Okay. Alright, that was a pretty good turn, if you ask me. St. Malo damage from bombing? Yeah. Germany celebrates defeat of France. Limited resistance is expected in Indochina due to the situation in France. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good for us, not for France. America's mobilization is down to only 30%. USSR is only at 32%, so they're not really earning very much in the way of money. Nobody else is particularly close to joining the Allies at the moment. Hungary is on the verge of joining us. I think that's scripted anyway. As is Romania. And, oh yeah, Panama would join the Allies. Mongolia. Yeah, the Allies' diplomacy is not really looking that great. There is going to be the problem of the DEI for Japan, but that's not a problem I have to really worry about. If we go look at the stats right now, I bet the points Germany has looks even crazier. Let me look at that. Germany MPP. Oh, look at the convoys, dude. This is our convoy income. Like, came down to a crawl at one point, and now look at it. It's just spiking up. MPPs. Oh, that is a spike. That is a spike. However, that doesn't include the plunder. That's right. This is the plunder. Oh my good God. So much plunder. This is just collected MPPs now. That is so high. Probably because of the convoys as well. But goddamn that plunder. This is the actual losses map. As we can see, the only naval losses, permanent losses in the entire game has been to the UK. Air losses have been minimal. Only Poland and France have lost air units. This is excluding everything that got deleted when France surrendered. These are just things that got destroyed. So ignoring France, right? Poland lost a lot. At least I think it's excluding that. I don't know. But detailed losses, you can see a lot more information here. I don't think Germany's no. My nations have not permanently lost a single unit. You can only really do that as the Axis at the start of the game. And look at the allies. Am I doing well? I legitimately don't know. Because I am also fighting an AI. A player could be just destroying me right now. So I really don't know how I'm doing. With so many MPPs on Germany, they're probably going to have the longest turn out of everybody this June. But Italy's going to have the most complicated turn because they have the least MPPs to use and the most things to do. Their tank and other corps I had down here got spit out of Vichy, not in their own borders, but in German borders. Luckily, they can be operated from where they are. Their HQ in Ethiopia can now be upgraded to max. I have to reinforce this thing at Tobruk. We have to start getting set up on the border over here with Greece. Or unless I want the Yugoslavians to do it. Now that I have the Yugoslavians, I don't even know. If I go to the purchasing though, and I look at Yugoslavia, holy fucking crap, are these guys great. I don't know how they can have 2 HQs when they only have one person to run the HQs, but they can apparently have 2 HQs. An army that's not made, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cores already pre-made, like half built, but pre-made, and one of them like fully upgraded. They're such a boon over here on this front. I'm definitely going to make them the arm of the Germans down here and recruit their HQs for sure. Oh, and I think I forgot to do anything with these Italian subs. I think I was indecisive about it one episode, and then for this episode, I just kind of completely forgot. But that's it. That's the invasion of France. I'm quite happy with that. We got Yugoslavia to join at the same time. That's amazing, and their MPPs are going right to Germany, and they're going to be a great source of just, I don't know, manpower. A lot of good things happening. Things really working out. Maybe the diciest for Italy right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know where you think we should go from here. Come up with some strategies you think I could work in like a couple turns time. For now though, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.